patience. I enjoy definitions, so I'm going to give you a definition. A definition is an ability to accept. This is the definition of patience. An ability to accept or tolerate delays, problems, suffering without becoming annoying. Wow. Well, we're going to look at an example real quickly.
Let's go.
An exemplary example of patience. And that woman is found in 1 Samuel 1, 4-11. It says, 1 Samuel 1, 4-11. We pick it up here. Whenever the day came for Elkanah to sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to his wife Peninnah and to all her sons and daughters. But to Hannah, he gave a double portion because he loved her. And the Lord had closed her womb. Wow. Because the Lord had closed Hannah's womb, her rival kept provoking her until she wept and would not eat. Her husband Elkanah would say to her, Hannah, why are you weeping? Why don't you eat? Why are you downhearted? Don't I mean more to you than 10 sons? Once when they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh, Hannah stood up. Now Eli the priest was sitting on his chair by the doorpost of the Lord's house. In her deep anguish, Hannah prayed to the Lord, weeping bitterly. She made a vow, saying, Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery and remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor will ever be used on his head. This is an incredible, incredible account.
Yeah.
Hannah, we know, was barren. And what was hard about Hannah's life is that, so her husband Elkanah had another wife.
Yeah.
The Bible is silent on why he had a second wife, but you could theorize that it's because Hannah was barren and was unable to gain any children. So just put yourself in Hannah's position, just for a minute. Just put yourself in her position. Can you imagine getting married and then your husband getting another wife?
No.
And then, if that wasn't enough, you don't have children, but his other wife has children. And then imagine, she taunts you. I mean, what kind of nightmare was Hannah living in? Okay? Like sometimes we read the Bible, right? And you're like, oh yeah, Hannah was barren, and and then I was, she don't make her until she cried and didn't eat. But then you think about it. This woman terrorized Hannah. And we don't know how long she terrorized Hannah. But the bullying was so bad that she would weep. Wow. And she couldn't even eat. And if that wasn't enough, here comes Elkanah. And he's making it all about himself. Like, what are you doing? He's like, why aren't you eating? Why are you sad? Because I'm getting bullied. Why are you downhearted? Where's the hidden camera? It's obvious. She keeps having babies. And then he says, so intense. Bless his heart. I think he meant a little bit, wow. I never heard a different word. He goes, but aren't I worth more to you than it should be enough for you. And poor Hannah, would that not take a lot of patience? I mean, she's a saint. Oh my goodness. to love.
Yeah.
It takes a great deal of patience to love as a wife. It takes a great deal of patience to love as a husband. It takes a great deal of patience to love as a parent.
Yeah.
Wow. You know? And Hannah did have patience. Patience is a fruit of the Spirit. Our marriages should bear the fruits of the Spirit. It's a great way to tell, where's my marriage at? How much fruit of the Spirit do you find in your marriage? How visible is it in your marriage? When people see you and your husband, do they see the fruits of the Spirit? Hopefully they don't see Galatians 5. That's hopefully not what we're doing. Hopefully it's verses 21 and onwards, amen? Okay, so I've been married for 21 years. And our first year was crazy. It was wild. I was 25 and, well, I'd never been married before. My dad got baptized when I was 11, so I was kind of barely a kingdom kid, you know. So I'd grown up in the kingdom, more or less, but wow, growing up in the kingdom and being married in the kingdom, like watching marrieds and then being a married are two wildly different things. It takes a great deal of patience. And our first year was a little bit of crazy. Our 7th year was a little bit of crazy. They kind of say like 7 is the kind of the difficult year as well. But we've moved many times in our marriage. There's been many, you know, we've been missionaries on the foreign field, domestically. It's required a great deal of patience. When there's a lot of change and turmoil in your life, it requires a great deal of patience.
Yeah.
So, as I close out, patience in marriage requires growth and maturity. That's how we were able to make it 21 years and God willing further. Quickly, practicals that we can work on. 1 Corinthians 13. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a woman, I put the ways of childhood behind me. Having a patient marriage requires maturity. You gotta be a mature disciple. You gotta work on your righteousness. Patience is an exercise, it's a muscle. You gotta work it. If you're not regularly patient, it's going to be very hard to be patient when you haven't been patient a long time, amen? Let's work on our patience. I wish I had more time to give to you, but I love you guys. You're awesome.